When the psychic and the Advaita paths meet. So you probably remember how in my last video I told you I died, I woke up, and then everything got really weird and free. Well, it just kept getting weirder and more beautiful and more free and sometimes a little overwhelming. Today I want to share how the psychic stuff kept opening up right alongside my deepening in Advaita and what it's really like to live with that. After my near-death experience, it was like the psychic floodgates opened, literally. I started seeing my dead relatives, not in some hazy dream way, but clearly, and they were giving me information I couldn't have known on my own. It didn't feel spooky. It actually felt comforting, like someone was reminding me, you're not doing this alone. Well, it at least got to that. Initially, it was scary, until I realized my fear was what was making me perceive it that way. But I've shared about that in other videos, so let's just keep moving along. Then there was my connection to nature. I'd look at the trees, the animals, even the bumblebees, and it was like they had faces. The bumblebees, they looked like little cherubs with wings of light. Yes, I said it. Bumblebees were cherubs, and I stand by it to this day. Everything felt alive, like the whole world was a conversation I could participate in. And I started seeing through teachings like The Secret, not in a dismissive way, but a clearer way, like someone handed me the director's cut of the universe and said, here's how this manifestation thing actually works. Much simpler, much gentler, and with a lot less vision boarding. I wanted to rewrite the whole movie, but apparently the universe already has a really good director. There was also this deep knowing that would just drop in. I would know when to share something with someone and when to just keep quiet. I would know when to act and when to sit still. It felt less like a power I had and more like a current moving through me. And here's the honest part. As beautiful as all of this was, it wasn't always easy. Sometimes it felt like learning to walk all over again. My relationships shifted. Some friends leaned in, closer, others quietly backed away. It became harder to tell, are you friends with me or with this new shiny spiritual version of me who suddenly has all these bells and whistles? That part was really hard. Sometimes it still is today. And sometimes it felt lonely. But it also taught me to stay steady, to not shrink back into my old self just to keep people comfortable, and not to over-identify with this new psychic identity either. So yes, the psychic gifts kept unfolding, and they brought both wonder and challenge, but they also became an invitation to soften, to trust, to stay amazed, and to keep laughing. Advaita gave me the anchor to not lose myself in any of it. The gifts can come and go. The relationships can shift and change. But what I am, awareness itself, never changes. And that is enough. It really is enough. I'd love to hear from you guys. Have you experienced psychic openings after your own awakening? Did it shift your relationships? And if so, how did you navigate that? Share your story in the comments. Let's make this a safe place to talk about the magic and the messy parts. I know that it's really challenging sometimes for people to open themselves up to thinking there could be something that is more than these eyes, these ears, these thoughts, these feelings, and these expressions that we call a reality are really showing us. If I hadn't seen it with my own two experiential eyes and my own beyond eyes awareness, I probably wouldn't believe it either. For 38 years, I didn't know any of this. So for the last 20, this has been an unfolding, an unraveling, and a level setting and an integration. And it's still going on, and it will never end. I keep speaking about this because it seems to be the only cathartic avenue for me to release all of this stuff that seems so unworldly. And I know that I'm strange to many, and I really don't care. I'm not trying to find some way of getting famous with this, some way of trying to make money off of this, some way of trying to be grander than this. It's my anchor to stay sane. It's my cathartic release to share the journey. Who knows, maybe it will one day be something that my own son and his family will look back on just to remember me by. Whatever it is, it arises, it records, and it shares. And it is loved. And if that aligns to you, then that is a perfect harmony. I know that there are others out there that want to pick apart words, that want to point to what I am sharing being wrong. But I guess you have to ask yourself, have I ever tried to convince you of anything? Have I tried to sell something to you? Have I tried to make you disidentify with anyone else? Or is something here just speaking to the rhythm of your own heart, which feels truer than anyone else pointing you to something that doesn't feel right inside yourself? Let that be your guide, nothing else. I hope this is helpful. Much love. Until next time.